back in the jungles for some more silver bayonet. This time I'm just going to be demonstrating artillery bombardment, or as I should say, during the player turn, this would be called the offensive bombardment phase. And we're going to have some F4s coming in. We're going to try to dislodge A Company, 334th Battalion, 32nd Regiment of the NVA, which is taking up a little spot up here in this, as they call that, mountain jungle area. We're going to try to dislodge this unit or do something to it. They're preparing a major offensive, we'll say. Of course, I set this up, it's hypothetical. And we're going to be using, up here, we're going to be using 2nd Battalion Artillery, Air Cav. We're going to be hitting this hex, and we're going to be calling in some air support. And what do you think the odds are going to be if we do this? Like, how well do you think this will work? Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm going to take a little snippet here. I'm just going to show how this works. And it might be a little bit more difficult than we think, mainly because of the terrain that the NVA is in. I don't think it's going to work that well, but we'll give it a shot. Okay. Now, the rules for bombardment, of course, during this segment, we need a spotter to ensure accuracy. There's no friendly unit adjacent to this, so we're going to already get a +1 to the DRM right off the bat. So we'll see what happens there. And you total the bombarding strength points of all the bombarding units or points, and you find the total at the top column like we did in the other video. And we're going to be rolling, and when we determine the target losses, we're going to divide that number by the TDV. Now, the TDV here, terrain defense value, is really good. It's a whopping 4, and the bold is no retreat with fatigue. But I honestly don't know if this is going to be effective. I have a feeling that this may not do anything. And we're going to bring in 4 air points. There will be air defense fire. I've actually set it up this time so that that happens. Air defense fire occurs when there's more steps in the target hex and or adjacent hexes, more steps than the total power being brought down. 4 here, we have 1 step, 2 step, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they will be able to use air defense fire. Let's just see what happens. First, we're going to do air defense fire. I think you do air defense fire before this. I think you have to, because the table mentions, of course, air defense fire is a campaign game rule, but the table mentions, well, now I seem to have lost my table. The table mentions one of the results is subtract that number from the total bombardment value of the stack. And you can also lose an air point permanently. So that's going to be interesting. All right, let's do air defense fire. Okay, first we have to see if the air defense fire hits. If it does, we roll on the damage table. You can find these here, right there. I'll just kind of lay this down gently. All right, we're going to roll, and let's see what we get. Now, it's really hard to do damage here, but you've seen how I roll. So basically we need to get a 1 or a 2, I believe. It is a, yeah, modified die roll of 1 or 2. There's really no modifications here, as we have not revealed any adjacent artillery. Let's see what happens. All right. For once, I did not roll horribly. So no planes are shot down. That's going to get through. All right, let's mark our targets here. This is our target. We're going to put the planes here. We're going to get first fire and first fire. Remember, these markers go on there, and if they do it again, they're going to get a final fire marker. And let's see the kind of damage we can do. We're bringing in 4, 8, 12. Okay, let's see what happens. Remember, we have a +1 to this die roll because we have no spotter. And our strength is going to be 12. We're going to be looking on this table. 7 + 1, 8. Not the best roll. All right, down to 8 here. We have a 1. All right. Looks like a step loss, I believe. Actually, I don't think anything's going to happen. Boy. That's pretty tough. Divide the number result by the TDV drop-all fractions. The result is the number of steps lost. This is about as ineffective as an artillery strike as you can get. Remember, our TDV is a 4. So we'd be getting 0.25. You drop all fractions, that's 0. The artillery strike had no effect. So you can see how tough it is. You really need to bring a lot of power to bombard and you're going to need a lot to get out of there. And plus I rolled pretty bad. But I would say you need to bring, man, for something like that, you got to bring, like, I would say 15 to 16 points. I mean, you're looking at, you'd have to divide the number and drop fractions. Yeah, you would have to pretty much roll, you have to bring like 16 plus points. So you're looking at 15 to 19 with a low roll. That's tough. And that's pretty accurate. You know, when they bombarded Hamburger Hill, little to no effect. They would just come out of the trenches. And so, yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. And I didn't bring a lot of air power, so I wanted to keep this number low so I could demonstrate the air defense fire. All right, so that's an example of how to do bombardments. The next thing I want to do is probably something, maybe how patrols work or something like that. Maybe work in some more campaign rules. But as you can see, ineffectual shelling there of that dug-in NVA little gathering up here. That's tough. All right. I'm going to send this video up, and thanks for watching. We'll get more Silver Bayonet in later. And I'm trying to think of what's coming up. I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm still kind of weighing my options here. You let me know what you think should be up of all the stuff I've been playing lately or opening up, etc., etc. I was thinking about going back and doing, I don't know, Ottoman Barbarossa maybe. They just announced a full box version of Ottoman Barbarossa, of course. Bigger counters and everything, so great. All right.